Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to this semi-final game we will be having in just a few moments of this tournament. My name is Rubel.
And I'm Bobble, and we will be casting Team Electric versus ZanarkAndApes very, very shortly for you. They're just finishing up their game.
Yeah, it sounds like it was a very commanding victory, to say the least. Unfortunately, we didn't get to show it to you guys, but it was a little one-sided from what we heard.
Yeah, so, but these next games should be really, really excellent. We have some really great teams. We've seen a couple of them already. One of the ones we haven't seen yet, Attack on Children. They've gone deep and they've been very, very good in our previous tournaments. So we have a lot of really stellar teams coming up in these semifinal matches. So it will be Team Electric versus most likely ZanarkAndApes, and then Comfy 2014 versus Attack on Children.
And we'll have that up and running in just a few moments. So we do have 3 games left for you. We are at the semifinal bracket. Then we will have the grudge match, the 3rd and 4th place players. So whoever loses on the 2 games that are currently going to be going on now or are ongoing will be the next match, and then it will be that championship match. And keep in mind, they aren't playing for just like chump change. They are playing for RP and some skins here. So the 4th place will be getting that 800 RP. 3rd place is going to be the 1600 RP. This is per player, not for the entire team. You're not getting just like 10 RP.
Yeah, getting 160 RP a person. Yes!
Well,
I can buy Ash!
Anyway, 2400 RP is going to be going to that 2nd place team, and the 1st place is going to be getting that 3200 RP with that Triumphant Rise skin. So keep in mind, we do have some goodies for you guys. If you like what you're seeing, make sure you do hit that follow button on the Twitch, it helps support us. That way we can keep providing some beautiful quality content for you, and you can see our beautiful mugs every Saturday then.
Every Saturday?
I
don't think they could handle seeing our beautiful mugs every Saturday.
Yeah, I know.
We might break the internet.
I'm just too pretty. Anyway,
plug the tube.
So make sure you hit that follow button. Another thing that you can do, if you like following that esports scene a little bit, we do have a fantasy esports league set up. You just go to fantasyesports.com, find us at Warrior Esports Fan League, and just join there. You can chat with the community, get to know them a little bit. You can bump elbows with the champions of all our tournaments, maybe figure out, just get to know some people, maybe figure out some strategies that you didn't know in the first place, or, yeah, just kind of check it out. And as always, we have tournaments on a fairly regularly. Right now it's pretty much like bi-monthly, not like the next one is going to be the 30th, if I recall, and the following one is going to be the 21st of June. So, the 31st, May 31st, which is a Saturday. I'm sorry. They're always on Saturdays. And then we have one on June 21st. So make sure you sign up. You just have to find 5 friends, join up, have a chance of winning some RP, maybe get that Triumphant Rise skin, all sorts of goodies. So just...
You only have to find 4 friends.
Well,
unless you want to make that 5th one just like sit around and do nothing for a while because you hate them. Yeah, cheerleaders aren't bad too. Yeah, or they can spectate the other people's matches and get you the sick info. That's actually been happening. No, that's not illegal. You can't
coach.
Watch.
Make sure you get a coach.
Yeah, a full-time analyst. That's what TSM needs. They've actually been talking about that. Reggie's like, yeah, I should probably actually have someone that tells me what to do because, well, let me tell you how badly I lost. I lost it for my team at Season 3 Worlds. It was rough. My Fizz was #1 in Brazil. Anyways,
so
I want to talk about Mage Fortune.
Okay, in 1 second, looks like the game is out, and we are setting it up, so it's probably just a minute away. But in the meantime, Mage Fortune. Okay.
So anyways, they've been pushing this really hard over the past couple patches, because apparently people really want to play AP Misfortune. And
hybrid
I don't blame
maybe.
them. Yeah, oh man, what's that? Gunsu's?
Gunsu's Rageblade. In case for those of you who never see it, because it is definitely... not the most popular item out there. It provides a little bit of attack damage and a little bit of AP, and then it's got a unique passive where every time you land an auto attack or use an ability, you get a stack, and I think it stacks up to 8 times, and it provides attack speed and additional AP damage. Yeah. So you used to see it a little bit in like Season 2 on like Nidalee or Jax.
Not really.
Hey, I'm just saying, you used to see it a little bit. And I'm not saying at
season
the good
2,
level.
not like not at the good level. But in any case, it also like when you drop under like 25% or something, you get like 10% lifesteal and 10% spell ban.
Yeah, and
some other
it
stats until you get
until you get out of combat. So like there are some benefits, but right now the only people that it's like even remotely effective on is like weird hybrid Teemo builds. Kale.
It's fine on Kale.
Kale, it's fine on.
But there's like so many items that are better on Kale.
Yeah, but that's always the problem, is they're like, it's not that gold efficient of an item. It's fine, and it requires you to have sustained auto attack damage. And a lot of the champions where it works for, it's hard for them to do that.
You need sustained auto attack damage that scales with AP.
Yeah, because
Teemo, like 2 of these.
Teemo, he's kind of like a burst. He does have the sustain. He's more like a kitey, annoying guy. He just like drops the mushrooms, waits for people to run into him, and then he just like pokes away. Anyway, it looks like our game is up and ready, and I really hope we are going to see Mage Fortune.
Yes. I would bet against it. But we can hope.
We're going to see Mage Fortune.
Up. You heard it on the stream. It's verified. He's going to owe me like $20.
And counterpick a Braum. That's what I'm calling right now.
Braum's probably going to get banned. But in any case.
Nope. I want to see him in this. Oh, come on!
You owe me so much money.
Come on! I want to see the Braum.
So in any case, the Braum first ban, unsurprising. Character is super overpowered right now. Jax also, one of the top laners, if you will, just very, very strong. Also good out of the jungle. Less good with the Feral Flare nerfs, and he's a little bit slow and fragile early, but he has much better ganks than some of the power Feral Flares like Master Yi, Warwick, Xin, or Nocturne.
But once again, he has that strong engage, disengage. He has a little bit of burst and very strong sustained and split push. So, looks like Nidalee, quick ban on that. There's a lot of contention going on in her. A lot of people think she's not very good for the game right now just because she has that massive range, the ability to disengage, not be able to really take her down, and she can spam. She's low risk, high reward right now, is what a lot of people think, because she's got massive heals. Anyway, before we get too much on a tangent, LeBlanc, massive mobility. That's why she gets banned all the time. Is because
she's a powerful AP mobile assassin. She's very safe. She has a lot of burst. Cassidon also like that. He's been all over the place. Like he got rebuffed and then re-nerfed. But the buff, the base move speed that he got is very, very powerful. He got 10 points of base move speed.
Twitch ban just because that rework of his.
The visual rework reminded people that, hey, Twitch is a thing, and he gets to 40 minutes and he'll just kill your entire team with, used to be spray and pray, now it's rat-a-tat-tat.
Yeah, rat-a-tat-tat. Yeah. It sounds like a machine gun. Oh, anyway.
Yeah, anyways, bad puns.
Okay, so for these first picks, we got a quick pick on Soraka. That was our first pick, followed up by the Lucian Thresh. Very common lane right now. Just
100% wife steal lane, very, very powerful. Soraka, but yeah, she's a very powerful pick. I expect we're going to see her in a solo lane, most likely mid. She's much safer out of mid.
Mage Fortune! Mage Fortune, it's happening!
Oh my god, I don't want to lose the money.
It's happening.
No, you guys didn't witness
come
it
on!
stream.
Oh,
no, please. This is so awful. In any case, let's talk about the real champion, Kha'Zix. I hope they're watching the stream and they're just screwing with us. It's actually very possible.
It's very possible.
Anyway, lock it in, guys. It's worth it.
Kha'Zix, very strong pick right now, just because he has that high mobility. He likes to go for that.
The mobile slippery assassin. Yes.
Yes! I doubt it's AP Mage Fortune.
It's not going to be Mage Fortune, but we were just talking about Misfortune, so I owe you an indeterminate amount of money that we bet.
Anyway, Kha'Zix, like we were saying, he's a very strong jungler that has high mobility, very good assassination, and very strong control of a dragon, baron, whatnot. Looks like we are going to see Pantheon and, what's her name? I haven't seen her for a bit. Elise?
She's still like a top-level jungler.
Yeah.
Saw her a little bit less when all the Feral Flare was going around, but she is still excellent. She stays very, very high while in the jungle. She has great CC and gank potential, both with her dash out of Repel and her ranged stun, as well as double magic damage, double percent health magic damage abilities. So she's just a very strong champ. I like the change they made to her, where they lowered her early game.
Yeah.
Because they dropped the stun from 1.5 seconds at all ranks to 1 second at early ranks and 2 seconds at later ranks.
Yeah.
So now you actually leveled the stun second on her most of the time, but it gives her, at level 11, when she has that 2-second stun from range, gives her a lot more late game catch potential and team fight value.
But definitely she has some interesting mobility stuff that she can do. It's not quite as crazy mobility as like Kha'Zix and Lee Sin, but it is pretty good still because it does rely on having like a target of some sort for her to repel to. But she has invulnerability instead. So she has some very strong utility. And meanwhile, on the other team, we got a Gragas and Lee Sin pick. Lee Sin, I expect... This is odd. Lee Sin, I expect, is top, and I assume that's a support Gragas.
It's support Gragas. It's going to be... it's almost certainly support Gragas with Lee Sin top. Could be a Kha'Zix top.
That's less common just because it's harder for him to get that isolation damage, which, like, it's not a huge factor, but it is a small factor when it comes to these picks. And he will be up against Pantheon, and I think Lee Sin is a little bit better of going up against Pantheon versus...
Yeah, Lee Sin relies on the spell damage a lot, so he isn't as shut down by Pantheon's passive as someone, say, like Trundle. Where Pantheon's passive can just negate a tremendous amount of his damage.
And that final pick is Annie. Usually we see her more as a support, but looks like she's going to be going mid up against the Soraka, which I actually can see as a counter pick for her just because she does have that strong burst and lockdown potential.
Yeah, she can just all in blow up Soraka, and I'm not surprised at all to see the ignite on her.
And
We've been seeing a lot of heals out of mid.
And she doesn't require the mana nearly as much as some of the other champions. She likes the cooldown reduction, but she, like a lot of the AP mids right now, really like to go with that Athene's Unholy Grail, but she can get away with going with that Morella Namicon and not have major mana issues.
Yep. Yeah, if she wants to go with that Morella Namicon, she can also just build like full damage too, and then just get a lot of value out of that. But we are seeing Gragas support. This is one of the things in the most recent patch. He got 100 additional range on his ultimate.
Yep.
His ultimate was already an amazing displacement tool, and that 100 additional range just means he can knock you towards him with or knock you towards his team from farther away, which is it's very powerful.
And his body slam has that. I think that's the one with the slowing mechanic, or that's the knockback effect, right? The body slam.
His body slam knocks up. The slow is on his barrel roll.
Yeah, and then he's got the auto attack. Is that just damage? I thought that had a slowing effect or something.
No, the slow is on his barrel. His auto attack just does damage, and it gives him the damage reduction. Yeah, because they moved a bunch of his abilities around. But yeah, it's on next hit. He does a bunch of damage, and then like for X amount of seconds, it's
Yeah, sorry, we're looking it up real quick just so we make sure because he's not nearly as popular as he was since he was.
Yeah, well, they got rid of his just AP assassin.
One of the things that they did change in the most recent patch is they did buff his drunken rage steroid just a little bit, and they also made it so that his barrel roll can do vision now. So he's a little bit more like Lux in the fact that he can scout ahead and he's still got that detonate, and it's a slow. So like he is one step closer to Lux. But
he was a strong support before because his passive, when they reworked him, his passive went to 4% instantly instead of 2% over 4 seconds.
Yeah.
So it's with an 8% internal cooldown. So it's theoretically the same amount of healing, but the instant is very, very powerful. And yeah, the Drunken Rage scales on target's max health, the on hit, and it. What they did change is he doesn't get slowed when he's activating his Drunken Rage because he can't do anything for 1 second.
Yeah.
Or he can't cast or attack, but he can move. And he used to be slowed. Now they got rid of that in the most recent patch. But he has a lot of CC for his support. That body slam knockup is very powerful, and he has a great slow on his barrel roll. It lost the attack speed slow, which was one of the other things that made him just really annoying, because the people he wanted to be assassinating, the squishies, were usually AD carries. So if he could just turn them off by getting a massive attack speed slow with his barrel roll, truthfully, they'd much rather have a movement slow than the attack speed slow that he put on them.
So the only downside that I see with Gragas is he is the only one that's got a little bit of anti-synergy with the rest of his team, just because of the fact that you do have that Lee Sin and the Misfortune. So, it can work. It can work very well, but there is also that potential of screwing up the team fight.
Yeah, I don't think they don't have the team. They don't have the Wombo combo team, the Mad Fights or the Oris, where or the Curse of the Sad Bullet time, where Mummy goes in and ults, and MF gets her full channel ult over everybody. You know, they didn't have anything like that anyways. So they weren't going to be getting like full 5-man ults unless the other team was grouped up poorly.
What I expect to see is the beginning of a gauge trying to catch someone with either the Gragas ultimate or Kha'Zix catch someone, and then they use MF's bullet time more as like a zoning technique, or if ideally they hit everyone.
Yeah.
But
yeah, just like, you know, they force an engage, MF backs out, and then, you know, and then can just kind of ult everyone while they're focusing other targets. Because, you know, you have to kind of focus Kha'Zix or Soraka, otherwise they're just going to take over the fight. And Lee Sin's kind of like that, too. So they have a team where you can't really ignore anyone. There's no one you can ignore on that team unless Lee Sin builds full tank, then you can ignore him, kind of.
And then, meanwhile, purple team is just like pretty much as catch as you can get. They're all about catching someone, blowing up a target very quickly with either Annie or Pantheon. Because you got two very strong bursty champions there with those two.
And they actually have surprising amounts of AoE. Pantheon's Heartseeker Strike is actually a great AoE. Elise has a little bit of AoE in her Spider. Annie, obviously, is all AoE pretty much. Thresh has pretty good AoE. Lucian's the only one who doesn't, you know, it's fine. You know, not amazing, but fine. So, yeah, they just have a strong, solid team fighting comp. I don't think they really have the solid split comp, but they, you know, it's just a solid team. They're all very solid, like, tier 1 champions. Aside from, well, I don't know where Annie sits, you know, like on a tier structure. We don't really see her that much anymore in, like, the high-level LCS or, you know, Korean OGN play. But it's you know, it should be very interesting. We'll just see how this goes, because we have some very interesting picks. MF and Gragas we don't see very much at all. While you know, everything else is kind of just conventional and strong. So
one thing to note that is very important is Lucian decided to run with Ghost instead of.
Oh wow! He's running Flash Ghost.
Yes.
That's very interesting. I loved Flash Ghost for a very long time, but like the health is just always, you know, the barrier or the heal or like cleanse if you need it has always just been considered stronger.
Yeah.
But he also started Longsword 3 pots, which is, you know, an interesting start. It's a lot more
long-term focused.
Yeah, it's long-term item focused and early-term sustain. Because that Doran's Blade will eventually out-sustain that those pots, but it takes a while. So if you're planning on kind of fighting and then going back pretty early and just getting that Vamp Scepter right away and just kind of skipping the Dorans for the health pad, you know, it's a solid build, but you know, you don't see it very much.
So in case you are wondering, there is a slight pause. It looks like Soraka on Team Electric did DC, and she'll be coming back in just a few moments. So hopefully we'll have this game underway in just a moment, and we don't have any additional technical difficulties. But this is the name of the game.
Yeah,
they have massive servers, and every once in a while there's little hiccups. So
yeah, and we do see on the supports Relic Shield on both sides. This is not surprising, even though Thresh is a range champ. It's a little bit harder to use on the range champs now, but it's still a very strong item. Lots of health regen. Good gold generation, and you know, and Face of the Mountain is just a very strong late game item.
Yeah,
arguably the strongest of the three, but they're all very good. That health, you know, that shield is very strong. The move speed is also very good on Coin. Like all of them are very good in different scenarios. So
as far as their starting builds go, taking a look at the items, we do have that crystalline flask on Pantheon, which is to be expected just because he likes to spam those spears.
Yeah, we talked about that previous game. He built I don't remember what he built. I think it was a Doran's Blade or something, but you know, he's just gonna have mana problems versus Darius. Yeah. And here, I mean, he even has a mana pot to start. So, you know, he's just fully aware of Pantheon in lane as a mana hog.
And it looks like the game is back underway. Soraka will be back into this, and there we go. So she still hasn't moved quite yet. There it goes. Looks like she's going with the Doran's Ring pot for that strong mana control, because Soraka, she likes to push that.
Yeah. You build a Doran's Ring. Her wave clear is great, so she's going to get a ton of mana off of the mana on kill abilities. She needs the AP to be able to win trades because she can't trade from long range. She has to be in melee. So if you don't have the critical mass of damage to win trades, you lose the lane.
Yep.
She's she's kind of all or nothing. She doesn't do well behind.
And it looks like we're not going to see any sort of invasions. Just blue team doing strong wards right now all across the board, while purple team is only warding on that that blue side of theirs. So on the south side.
Nothing particularly surprising here with the ward change. Invades are a lot riskier and a lot costlier.
Yeah.
It's very possible you'll walk 5v5 into the enemy team, which gives them a large advantage.
Yeah, mainly the assist gold. The first blood gold is not crazy, but giving everyone assists is actually pretty substantial.
Yeah. Actually, with the gold change, it's much less the gold than the experience. Yeah. If top lane or mid lane gets the experience, instead of them having to push the lane to hit level 2 before you, they can actually just farm normally and hit level 2. And like the jump from level 1 to level 2 is by far the biggest level jump, just because it's a static amount of stats at every level, and so you have less stats. So percentage-wise, it's a massive jump. That level 2 is insane.
So it looks like we are getting this game underway between Team Electric on the blue side versus ZanarkAndApes on the purple. So keep in mind that this is the semifinals going on right now. Whoever wins this one will go on to play in our final match. Whoever loses will go play in the grudge match. So we'll see. Regardless who wins or who loses, we'll see them both here in these upcoming next 2 games.
Yep.
So trading all across the board right now. Just top lane. Lee Sin taking a little bit of damage, but that's to be expected. Pantheon, he loves just throwing spears.
Yeah, but he's low on mana already, so he's going to have to start chugging those mana items. It's cost him a lot to start trading with this Lee Sin. Well, Lee Sin is an energy champ.
Yep.
So this is certainly going to be a problem for Pantheon. He maybe should not have started trading this early.
And it looks like he actually decided to go with Safeguard as the second item just for that additional sustain with the Doran's Blade. And it looks like Lee Sin actually is going to head back, maybe?
I think heading back is basically conceding the lane at this point. He's going to miss a lot of XP. Because the lane is slightly pushed, so that those waves are going to clear.
Riskier, because if he stays in the lane, he doesn't have any pots.
Oh, he has teleport. It's fine. Oh. I didn't realize that Lee Sin had teleport.
Oh, that changes things.
Yeah, it doesn't cost him very much at all. But he does have to be careful of Elise till Kha'Zix gets here. They see her. Oh, she's sitting on a ward. That's really dangerous for her.
Yep.
But it looks like they don't want to fight her.
Yeah, and I think Elise at this stage in the game actually wins in the 1v1 versus Kha'Zix.
I think she has to hit her abilities. She needs to hit the stun, otherwise I think Kha'Zix wins.
Oh gosh, and ambush
there. Soraka, she's going to have to flash the wall.
Kha'Zix keeps up, and first blood goes to Soraka. That's actually really huge.
Are they going to dive this? I think this dive is bad, but yeah, they're not going to dive it. But that first blood, very good.
So nicely played there from Kha'Zix there with a beautiful ambush cake. Just abusing the vision and staying one step ahead of her, figuring out where she's going to go, and it was just a nice ambush game.
Yep, tremendous amount of patience. You saw Elise juke a bit walking into that bush. Yep. And but still face checked it without vision or anything like that. So, ended up working perfectly. And he saved his jump too. He didn't use it early. Made sure to be able to jump past her to flash.
And Soraka did burn her. Both of them burned their flash. It looks like in that engagement, just to ensure that kill. But hey, it's a kill's a kill. So Elise rather flashed as well. So and Soraka actually got double buffs out of that. Is a more relevant
extremely good.
Bottom lane, big trading going down.
Gragas was going deep toward. She has to flash the flay. But he's gonna Thresh is gonna take a ton of damage. There's a heal coming out,
and Thresh flashes away once again. And there's the flay. Gragas forced to flash out. MF now is in a little bit of danger.
Has to heal.
And the heal goes down. Lucian still keeping pace there with the relentless assault.
But ends up shooting a couple creeps with that relentless assault. So this is going to be interesting.
Yep, and this might be enough to force blue team back, but I think Elise is going to try and swing down here.
They're going to get out in time. Oh no, they haven't gone back yet. So and Lucian has those health pots with that longsword. So while he's hurting on mana, he's going to be great on health.
Top lane, Lee Sin looks like he wants to go for a gank, but can't quite line up that resonating strike there, getting blocked by those minions. So unfortunately, Pantheon looks like he is going to be able to get away.
Lee Sin might interrupt it with a Q.
Bottom lane, Kha'Zix's coming in there, and it looks like Lucian is going to be able to get the kill there on that Kha'Zix. Dude, a beautiful stun there from Elise to prevent that.
Yeah, Elise being, you know, great in position, exactly what you kind of want to see, where the jungler just has this prescience of this is where I need to be, so I'm going to be in the right place at the right time to get that kill.
And that's 1-1, bringing the gold advantage to absolutely 0. There is no gold advantage right now, and blue team is still holding on here at bottom lane, but they are pretty low versus this 3-man push. Top lane, Lee Sin is pushing out. He's still at pretty close to full health. Kha'Zix is coming in for support at the bottom lane, and we'll see what they decide to do.
Pushing hard. Thresh doesn't hit the hook, so it looks like they're just going to leave.
Yeah, and Lee's backs out. Meanwhile, at mid lane, Soraka is doing what Soraka does best, and that's push.
Yes, pushing Q on waves. High skill champion.
Hey, she's got a silence too. It's not a skill shot.
She has a point and click silence. Yes. All of her ability is very hard to use. So, anyways, yes, but she is pushing the crap out of Annie, which is exactly what you want to do. Because until Annie gets some levels and some cooldown reduction, she doesn't farm very well under tower.
And she just wants to prevent Annie from roaming is another big thing. Because Annie, like, she is... Once she gets level 6, she has that ability to take down targets, but if she has the ability to keep her lane out and she can roam even a little and get those stuns on those lanes, so important. Or even if she can just like mess with the jungler a little bit. Anyway, it looks like we're having a little bit of a pink ward fight here, but I think they're both going to go down. Blue team manages to pick up the one there.
Yeah, fight going on up top. Pantheon gets Lee Sin very low.
Ignite and the spear picks up the kill. Well done there by Pantheon. And meanwhile, bottom lane. Oh, beautiful hook from Thresh into the play. And this is probably going to be enough to pick the kill. Relentless assault to keep pace. And Argent Blaze picks up the kill.
Yep, he interrupted one of his auto attacks, making it a little bit harder, but he still, you know, still managed to get it because he had one more ability left. His Argent Blaze. Yeah, Pantheon winning up top with the old triple longsword build. You know, all you need.
I thought it was love.
No, it's all you need is longswords.
Oh, there's another hook, and that's gonna be enough poke there on Gragas. Thresh has actually been really good at landing his hook. Yep. I've only seen him miss 2, and I think one of them was a forced flash. So
yes, he missed one when the person flashed. I haven't seen him. I can't think of any others, but you know.
And meanwhile, mid lane, Annie bears the Soraka, and in comes the Elise to try and get some kills, but the wish and the heal there.
Yeah, just enough, even through ignite.
Yep.
But it did cost her summoner heal, which is, you know, it's a pretty big game. She's not pushed out of lane, though. She's going to get to hang around a bit. So, you know, with Annie's flash ignite down, she doesn't have that much to be scared of as long as she manages her position well.
One big notable difference between these two teams is that gold difference between Lucian and Misfortune right now. That is fairly substantial. That's where that 1,000 gold is sitting right now, is just on Lucian, and he has a BF.
Oh, beautiful double play on both of them.
Yep. Drops the ultimate. It's going to be enough to keep Misfortune in, and Lucian's taking some big hits right now, but I think it's going to be enough with Thresh, because Thresh is the master of keeping people alive. He just loves to keep people alive.
Yeah, his CC very, very good.
Meanwhile, at top lane, Lee Sin manages to pick up a kill on Pantheon, and mid lane it looks like we see an attempted gank here from Kha'Zix, but it got nullified a little bit there with the vision that Elise provided there. So,
yeah, and Lee Sin taking advantage of the fact that his ult does a lot of damage, and Pantheon doesn't have an ult usable in combat, really, so...
But Pantheon, he might actually start being able to trade a little bit more. Lee Sin decided to duke it out here with Elise, and that is very dangerous.
Yeah, with Kha'Zix here, this is real bad.
She might be able to get away. She's going to put out some damage. She
flashes
the resonating strike.
On top.
Man drop, and
survive?
There is a beautiful repel. Might be enough to keep him alive. Gets the kill on Kha'Zix. Lee Sin forced to run away, and I'm surprised he actually didn't try to pursue that at all. But because he is so very.
I don't think it's worth his time. I think he's just like, I don't want to chase Lee Sin. It's not worth it. Yeah. But now that he has his team there, they might
hook. No, no blind hook. That's unfortunate. He checked one bush with the lantern and then decided to figure he was gone. So
yep.
That was
that
a beautiful play.
Lucian is down 1v2, you know, which is pretty rough. But MF and Gragas aren't using it too much. They're just kind of walking out. Probably going to go ward dragon. Soraka's doing wraiths.
But Elise did a beautiful job of stalling there underneath that turret. Oh, yeah. She was caught in an awful position. Nice timing of flash to dodge that resonating strike. Just beautiful reaction time. And then the repel to mitigate the rest of the damage so Lee Sin could just come up and clean house was well done.
Yeah, and saving her abilities in that time, sitting on the repel until, you know, flashing first instead of repelling first.
Oh man, bottom lane, we have an ambush game once again. Fresh lantern, but everybody manages to disentangle the mess that they're in. Top lane, Lee Sin gets behind the Pantheon, picks up the kill with the resonating strike, and barely survives the ignite. Meanwhile, at bottom lane, we still got this kind of extended engage going on. Kha'Zix looks like he wants to engage on this Elise.
Yeah, and this is impressive because Pantheon is actually losing against this Lee Sin with ignite. Lee Sin has teleport. So, you know, again, it's coming back down to these kicks, that damage that Lee Sin kick does.
Thresh tries to do an all-in there on Misfortune, but does not quite land the flay, and it's not enough to knock her into that box. But he did burn his ultimate there, so he doesn't have quite all of his abilities, and it looks like we're going to start seeing a dance here around Dragon, and down goes yet another pink ward.
Yep, so very intense game. Annie fighting Lee Sin in the jungle. It should be a deadly.
And down he goes. So trading kills all over the board. The kills make it seem like Purple Team is winning by a commanding amount, but they're not. Like, it is very even still.
Yeah,
and Gragas engaging here, taking a lot of damage, gets played back in, forced the flash, goes down, not quite, oh my god.
Yeah, that instant 4% heal is exactly what he needed.
So Kha'Zix comes in from the back, that should be enough for Misfortune to get the
Thresh. Double kill? Nope,
Nope, unfortunately not, but Kha'Zix, beautiful time there, and Gragas barely getting out of there. I think he had like 50 health.
Yeah, that timing on his passive, and again, those changes, you know, making him more of that drunken brawler. Got dragons for free. You know, the Purple Team, blue's too low. Can't really contest. I don't think they even have good vision of it.
But they didn't lose out too much on it, because they did manage to get a kill and force Lucian way back, so he missed out on a little bit of CS. And the vision right now, Purple Team has very strong vision of the Dragon area, but in general, Blue Team just has very offensive wards right now on that blue side, so they are aware that that Dragon is down. They know they have a pretty good idea.
Yeah, they should have the time. They went over the back too, so.
And unfortunately, it also did cost him a turret, and we'll see if Gragas and Misfortune can keep up with this Lucian. He did burn his ultimate to try and move him into Misfortune's range, but it looks like a relentless assault kind of messed up his plan a little bit there. So Blue Team still trying to push all across the board.
Actually wishes.
Lee Sin playing with Pantheon here once again at top.
I think she's, just helping out Lee Sin kill this Pantheon and getting the assist on it. So.
And she did get help get that turret as well, so the gold advantage is once again very even, and Purple Team feeding a blue debuff to Annie. That should be enough to push her into a little bit more of a dangerous position, and we'll see what happens here.
Oh, that Elise stun just missed.
Rash hook goes down on Gragas, and now Blue Team is chasing. There's a little bit of a slow, but this is a very dangerous game that everyone is playing right now.
Yeah, however, Lee Sin, he doesn't have that Hydra finish yet, but he has that Tiamat, so his wave clear is insane. He's just pressuring the crap out of top. And there's actually 3 blue people mid, too. They're just pressuring all the lanes. Pantheon looked like he wanted to jump somewhere, but decided against it. Not sure why. I think he can beat Lee Sin on tower, but he maybe just didn't want to waste it.
Lee Sin's going for the tower. He's going to take some big damage, and then he's probably going to try and be slippery.
Yeah, but I think he wins this fight.
Oh, yeah, that Tiamat is actually doing quite a lot of work, but it looks like he decides to back away once he realizes that Kha'Zix is holding off.
Kha'Zix is low mana, but if they can get a catch here, it's going to be worth it.
Gragas did come up for support, body slamming over the wall, allows him to support as needed in Purple Team. They're just searching for someone here, but unable to find it.
Yeah, gold's surprisingly even considering how dominant it feels like Blue Team really is being right now.
Well, Purple Team did get that Dragon, and they have gotten one turret. So, like, right now it's 2 turrets, and they've lost out on kills. But,
Well, I mean, yeah, they've gotten 1 turret, but, like, Blue Team's up 3 turrets, you know, and I guess they have 1 more kill than Blue Team does. It just feels like Blue Team has, like, massive map control. They're just everywhere.
Lucian right now also has a commanding lead over Misfortune.
Yeah, that's true. That's where it's from. Lucian's almost 43 run on that.
Oh, God, big calling there. It's going to be enough to pick up Soraka and Gragas here. And just a nice little combo there from Purple Team. That's going to even up the gold once again, and they should actually be able to push down this mid turret and actually take control of the advantage.
Yeah, that Annie flash ult. And she actually built BFG as her first item, so there's no doubt about what she's trying to do this game. She murders somebody.
Yep.
And that cooldown reduction certainly doesn't hurt either, but I would not be surprised to see distortion boots come out of her.
And Purple Team is still trying to push this 5v3. They're going for MF ult to clear some minions and also do some massive damage. Lee Sin manages to get out Kha'Zix, manages to get out Misfortune, picks up the Thresh, doing some big damage. Lee Sin going for it, but gets speared in the face.
Yeah,
by,
that Pantheon execute. Getting some revenge for all that bullying that Lee Sin was doing to him up top. Yeah, that MF ult was amazing. Just a full channel on the entire team as well as hitting minions. And very powerful.
Yeah, she managed to clear it out, save the turret, pick up a kill. Unfortunately, Lee Sin wanted to support her, gave up a kill, so it lessened that victory just a little bit, but that gold advantage is still even for them taking a turret there. So
yeah, still under 1,000 gold difference. This game is very close, and it feels like you know, after that, despite that MF play, blue team has lost some of that map advantage. Like their deep wards are starting to die, and they're not replacing them. And,
they just redid a lot of the wards in the dragon area.
Soraka just walked by and did those?
Gragas, he's got a sight stone now.
Okay, yeah, he has the sight stone, and he can go over those walls. So yeah, they did just actually refresh those deep wards.
So they have commanding control over the Dragon Pit right now, but it looks like Thresh is going to start playing some aggressive deep wards as well.
Yep.
And so right now, the biggest
control from both teams.
Both teams are incredibly even, but the gold concentrations are in very different places right now. Because like right now, you've got that split a little bit more between the jungle Lee Sin and Soraka, while it's more on Lucian for the purple team. So we'll see how that works out for him. If Raka can get some very clutch wishes in there, it should work out okay for them. But Lucian is going to be very devastating here because he does have that fully stacked Bloodthirster at this point. He does have that Zeal, while we only have the Bloodthirster that's only partially stacked with this Misfortune.
Yeah, this fight doesn't look like it's going very well for Pantheon.
Pantheon is dueling it out here. He does have that Last Whisper now, so he's actually doing a little bit more damage. Yep. And Purple Team rotates up. And Elise comes in, she might be able to get the execute, but a nice kick. Kha'Zix comes in for support, and blue team is all rotated up now. We'll see if Annie tries to go for another bears here, but it looks like they're like, nope, we're backing away from this.
And I don't know who benefited more.
Oh, beautiful relentless assault there from Lucian there. The barrel came out, and he mitigated everything but the damage. So
yeah, and I mean, he was dead if he didn't dash that immediately. But interesting, that Thresh hook over the wall didn't hit on Kha'Zix. I don't know who that was better for. Because Thresh would have almost certainly gone in on that. Or would have stayed a little bit longer, but blue team was converging really, really hard, so it could have actually ended up worse for purple team if you'd hit that death sentence.
Dragon is back up.
Thresh
vision all over. Hits the
play.
Big damage. Kha'Zix, big MF ult, just shredding the entire purple team. Double kill for her, but Annie comes in, picks up a little bit of damage, but it looks like blue team is going to start taking a commanding victory. This is going to be a 4-for-0 exchange, 5-for-0 exchange, and I think they're just going to back away, take the dragon, because they don't really have a good turret to push on right now. But I guess they're just going to man mode it.
Yep. And they have such a massive front line for MF. She's always going to get those because, like, you know, they have the slippery Kha'Zix, they have the slippery Lee Sin, and then they have Soraka and Gragas, both of them who want to be in the middle of a fight, but you also have to kill, because otherwise they're just going to kill you, or kill you in the case of Soraka, or CC you to death in the case of Gragas. So, yeah, like, you know, it's actually a surprisingly good team for MF ults, because they basically have to group up to focus any of those champions.
So it was a nice hook by Thresh, but it was a very good counter engage from blue.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was talking about up top too. You know, I wonder who benefited more. I think Thresh, you know, I think purple team might have benefited more from Thresh actually missing that hook up top.
Yeah.
Because I think they might have had exactly what happened in the river happen up top if he had hit it earlier. And that would have been a guaranteed Baron, or it would have been a oh wow, purple team threshing Baron.
Gambit.
And
no vision.
They're not gonna get there in time.
Oh gosh, okay.
It's down to half. Lee Sin's not going to get there.
This is going to bring the gold fairly even, and it's also going to give him Baron buff.
Actually, Lee Sin might get there in time. They slowed down.
There's a resonating strike. He goes for the steal, but Elise still gets it.
Elise has
Gold advantage is still in blue team's favor, but big engage going on. Gragas goes down. Lee Sin should be able to get away, but purple team is fairly low. It looks like they're going to try and go for it, and beautiful actually bait out there. Thrash managing the Lantern save Pantheon, who looked like he was remote. So
yeah, and I think it was planned. I think he was you know, he didn't have flash up. But I think he's like, I'm going to juke around into this Baron pit, act like I'm trapped, and then we can lantern me out of here to guarantee you guys a little bit extra.
And that's actually really big for this purple team, the ZanarkAndApes, because they really needed that. Yep. Looks like they managed to catch Lee Sin out. Kha'Zix is coming, but there's a man drop coming in as well. Lee Sin should be able to escape, but now Kha'Zix is in a little bit of trouble. Leaps away. Soraka's coming. There's the silence, but does not quite get the kill because of that Astral Blessing there.
Yeah, that Soraka heal perfect on time. Not only did the armor help, but getting him above 15% so that Pantheon didn't get back to crit was exactly what he needed.
But yeah, this Baron buff should be enough to keep this purple team in this game because that team fight was devastating to them. It put them very far behind in gold. They lost 2 key objectives. That tier 2 turret is so important on that mid lane just because it opens up the map immensely.
Yeah, you lose all sorts of map control. You basically lose safe access to your jungle.
And also the dragon. They lost the dragon, which at this point in the game,
beautiful flash stun by Elise. I think this is almost certainly a dead MF.
And he comes in, burns big damage, and just goes down. And Annie's starting to get some kills that she absolutely needs because without those Deathfire graphs, she doesn't have the sustained damage that they really need in an AP carry or a mid. Like Soraka, massive sustained damage.
And that was really dangerous because getting caught when the enemy team has Baron buff up, and forcing it to be you know 5v4 with Baron, you're gonna lose towers. You might be able to defend them if you had all 5 people, but like you just have to give this tower up. They're just walking off like they have to because otherwise they're just gonna get killed.
Yep, and it looks like they're just gonna keep pushing mid. They don't really have a good opportunity to rotate unless Pantheon. They just need to clear
Pantheon
the wand.
stopped pushing mid. This is ult wasn't.
Beautiful hook on Lee Sin.
I don't think it's the best target.
Cullen goes down. Thresh takes some big damage, but a nice heal goes off to mitigate a lot of that big damage. Go down. Soraka goes down. Kha'Zix going in for the support. Lee Sin trying to support as much as possible, and Gragas gets out. Purple team still has a strong 5-man push.
Yeah, Kha'Zix. Yeah, they're backing off. Good, unfortunately, and this is exactly what we're talking about with the Soraka, like that change in 2.7, removing the Grievous wounds.
Yep.
Soraka lived, so she got rid of the Grievous wounds.
Man drop, coming in, and boom, Kha'Zix takes some big damage. Blue team overcommits now, and I think Gragas is going to go down for sure.
Yeah,
Lee Sin's in some dangerous position. Purple team still pushing, manages to pick up the kill. They have 5, and oh my gosh, they just took like 7 kills for no exchange.
Yeah, they and like that's the thing. Like they probably just needed to give up that inhibitor because with all 5 up with Baron buff, they can just trade tower aggro. If you watched it, 3 different people got tower aggro during that fight. They just walked in and out.
And Raka, she is going to be pushing back on this. She will prevent this push pretty hard, but it might not be enough. They do take.
Yeah, she does have Rylai's, so their chase potential is very strong here. But Lucian doing a good job putting out great damage on Soraka.
Yeah, and
they're all very low though.
Lucian, he's still supporting big culling there, doing big damage, picks up Kha'Zix. They managed to catch Gragas back out, but the spider does go down.
Lucian flashes a little off.
They get Raka. That's huge.
I don't think Lucian's going to be able to finish.
Can he get the kick? He gets stunned, locked down, manages to let MF pick up the kill, but she is so far out of position now where Lucian should be able to pick this up. Argent Blade blocks though, and he is out of mana. So actually they are okay for now. Gold advantage is just barely in purple team's favor. I would go back, buy, regroup, and then push up top. That's what I would do.
Great comeback by purple team. Blue team just kind of fell apart. They kept getting picked off. And something you do see is like, when one person gets picked off and instead of just kind of like doing your best to safely hold objectives, you kind of try and force more fights, and then you get picked off 1 by 1 or 2 by 2, and they they just keep pushing and picking you off. You gotta wait for all 5 to get up.
And this is a very close game. At 25 minutes with a 3K gold advantage, that's That's very low, and a lot of the gold is probably on the Lucian, who has been picking up a lot of kills, but it's such a minuscule amount right now. And we have some major items going on for the rest of his team as well. Like, we have that Void Staff now on Annie, which is huge because, like, Lee Sin, he rushed Banshee's Veil. He got Tiamat's, and then he went Banshee's Veil. So, because he just didn't want those stuns. And,
And this is actually the worst case scenario for blue team because bottom lane is pushing.
Yeah.
So you have to defend your bottom lane with Baron coming up in a minute and a half. That's a huge problem because someone has to be down there, and they don't have any teleports, do they?
And it looks like
they have Lee Sin with teleport, but it's down. He used it, so they don't have any way to send someone bottom. They're basically going to have to forfeit Baron or somehow win a 4v5.
And it looks like they did push out that mid, so they don't have to worry about that one as much. This bottom one and this strong push going up this top lane is going to be very relevant. And if Purple team can get another catch, Miss Fortune needs to play extremely safe. Soraka also needs to play extremely safe.
It looks like Soraka's going to be the one that has to go down. They sent Kha'Zix, actually. He has the best mobility, but his wave clear is not great. This is going to be a problem. Soraka has the best wave clear against open waves, but not. Her wave clear is great against like waves pushing on the tower,
and it's actually taken some really big damage. Those super minions
are
actually almost going to take that.
Yeah, they should have sent Soraka. She clears it very quickly.
But, and it is going to heal back up, but actually, if I was Purple Team, I would consider rotating in.
MF uses their ult basically just to clear the wave.
And big damage go down to Soraka before she can really do too much, but she did manage to flash out. Annie picks up Miss Fortune, which is actually really huge. Or Miss Fortune picks up Annie, rather.
Yeah, blue team looks like they're going to win this fight pretty well.
And they need to, because otherwise they just lose.
Yeah, so, unfortunately, okay, at least stops chasing Lee Sin. He's going to get away.
Oh my gosh, they just won 0 for 4.
Yep.
And Elise, I would just let her go right now.
Yeah, they tried to focus down Soraka and didn't get it this time.
And it looks like Lee Sin, he is going to try and go for it.
He's going to die in this fight. No,
there's the flash over the wall. Gragas is keeping pace. Lee Sin deciding to keep pace too. This is ballsy, man.
Oh, she repels over to the golem, and she's going to get away.
Are they
going to get to her in time?
Baron is
back up. They didn't figure out. They don't care. Baron, they should just Baron. Maybe, I don't know. They could take a mid turret.
Their inhibitors are back up, so they only have one more.
Yeah, Soraka had to go push down bottom. This Baron, I don't know if they can do it quick enough. This is really dangerous. Okay, they're not going to do it.
Okay, good. He just wanted to drop the ward so that they have vision.
He wanted to get safe.
And they actually might lose it again.
If Purple Team rushes it. Pantheon's jumping. Where's he jumping? Oh, he canceled it.
Okay. So Purple Team is still pushing out. They are clearing some vision here. That should buy Blue Team enough time to get back into this.
Okay. They did see the last word in there, so it is clear. But I think they're just going to bait
an ambush game.
Yep. Let's see. Yep.
There's the hook. Gragas actually going to take some big damage. Manages to body slam a little bit out. We'll see if Blue Team can deal with this. Gragas ultimate going down.
Good
big MF ultimate hitting 4 targets. Culling actually misses everyone. And Gragas is staying alive throughout all this. And Purple Team
no one's died yet, but Purple Team very low.
Double kill with the Starfall. And Lucian actually getting brought incredibly low. Gragas trying to keep pace with him, but he does manage to both escape. I have no idea how these people are surviving for so long.
Full health Lee Sin chasing down this Lucian, but he's just going to back. It looks like they're just going to take the mid tower, which is the smart thing to do.
Annie is back up. She doesn't have her bear, but she might be able to steal a kill out from someone here. Man drop coming in here,
but I don't
think
dies before
Annie goes down.
Gets Soraka's flash. But yeah, they're going to get this tower. Pantheon can't really do anything about this.
Gold advantage is once again in Blue Team's favor. Nice back and forth here once again. And Purple Team is going to lose this inhibitor. Blue Team should probably disengage as soon as this is done because they're in a 5v4 and 2 people are very low.
But he can safeguard out.
And there's the lantern.
I'm trying to give him something to safeguard out. He needs to ward hop.
Oh, he does ward hop, but he might not be the safety. Elise picks up the kill with the execute. So, woo! Purple Team. This is a back and forth, ladies and gentlemen. 1K gold difference here between Blue and Purple Team.
At 30 minutes, 1K gold difference. Baron is up. Lee Sin is down, so we're looking at a 5v4 around Baron. Soraka's going back. That could be the death knell for if purple team figures it out. Could be the death knell for defending against this Baron. They might have to let it go. But it's only Elise and Pantheon doing it. They're not going to do it that fast.
Gragas and MF are going to try and do maybe something here. I think it's a bad idea.
They're standing on a ward. It's a bad idea. I think they're just going to have to let it go.
Yep.
Soraka probably shouldn't have backed.
There's a hook. Misses
Is he going to try and steal it with a barrel?
Yeah. Almost gets it, but not quite enough. MF ultimate goes down. Does enough to do a little bit of damage, and down goes 2, and I think that's going to be the game here. Because they have 2...
no, the death timers aren't that high. We're only 30 minutes in. We're only looking at 30 seconds. I think it's going to be 2 inhibs, but I don't think it's the game.
Well, it's 1 inhib, and they only have 1 Nexus. Oh, they have no Nexus.
Oh, they have no Nexus turrets. That's... yeah, I didn't realize the second Nexus turret had gone down to creeps. Yeesh. That's really rough. But they are just pushing top, so we'll see what they can do.
Yeah, we'll see how low Soraka and Lee Sin can hit them. Gragas, he does a little bit of damage, but he's mainly there for body blocking right now. Lee Sin does go down.
They have no kills. Gragas isn't going to be able to do anything. Soraka can't get enough kills. Kha'Zix is here. Can he get a reset? He does get a reset, but he dies.
Goes down. MF is back in the fight. This might be enough to scare him off. Because Lucian is pretty close to full, but Raka is the only one that's really doing massive damage. And
this Baron buff regen is just doing too much work over this long fight.
We'll see. There's the anti-flash stun into big damage. There's the wish, but not quite enough. And so Raka goes down. And Purple Team takes the win in a very close game. Very close game.
Yeah. Very well played by both teams. They probably should have just let the Baron go. If they were hanging around and juking themselves, it's like you got to go right away, or you really just got to let it go, because if you don't, you're gonna. So
ZanarkAndApes taking a very strong win there in that game. Just so close though.
Yeah, back and forth, seeing both teams, really like do what they need to do to come back from behind. Capitalize on mistakes or overextensions by the other team, and pick it up. So it looks like our finals are going to be ZanarkAndApes versus Quimphy 2014. Quimphy took out Attack on Children. But first, we're going to be going to that third place grudge match, which will be Attack on Children versus Team Electric. And we just saw Team Electric play an excellent game against ZanarkAndApes. And we know Attack on Children has played great in our previous tournaments. So this game coming up should be really, really excellent.
2 veteran teams versus 2 novice teams. And by novice, I mean they're not experienced in our tournament scene before. And clearly they are not bad players, because Comfy played a very strong game two games in a row, and Team Electric just played a very strong game, even though they did lose. Like, it was a very strong game. Just a couple missed positions that I think they should have let the Baron go, but that's okay.
Cap, it's hard to tell in the heat of the game, and you're always worried about, like, if we let this Baron go, or do we just lose 2 inhibs anyways? But with, no Nexus turrets up, losing 2 inhibs, with people dead is the game, so.
And, so I think we're going to take a quick break here. So make sure you stick around with us. 2 games to go, guys. Semifinals and finals. Well, grudge match and finals, I mean. And, make sure you stick around.
Yeah, we'll be back in just a minute.
Just a minute.